Okay, so let's continue with our next video in the AWS series. And so in the last two videos, we will see the step function. What is step function? And in the first video, we will see the basic example of hello world in step function. And in the second video, we invoke the lambda function. Now we will see how we can do the error handling in step function. All right. So basically, what is step function? Step function is basically to orchestrate your workflow. So workflow in the step function is called as a state machine. So we generally define a state machines like but all small task needs to be performed, right? So we do that. But what is going to be happen if the task is going to be failed? So as an example, in the last video, what we did is we invoke the lambda. We invoke the lambda, right? So what if the lambda is going to be failed? Do you want to retry it? Do you want to just ignore that? What you are going to do? So so one thing is that you can perform that logic within the lambda function itself, put some if else condition. If exception is particular kind of exception, then you are going to recall the same function. If or maybe some type of some number of times, so you can put some counter as well. But by ingesting these logic in your business application, you are unnecessarily complicated your actual function. All right. So what step function is going to provide is step function said just write your own business logic. Don't need to implement within your application this kind of logic retry method or all this method. I will take care of it for you. All right. So step function is going to provide all this kind of mechanism, retry mechanism, and how many number of times it's going to be retry, and what will happen if all the retry has been failed. Then it should be went into the catch situation. All right. So we are going to see that in the practical today. All right. So let's go to the AWS console. Let's create a state machine and go to the blank one, and we are going to invoke the lambda. And in this video, what we are going to do is we are like in the last video also we are invoking the lambda function. And when we invoke the lambda function, what we will do did is we just check what the output of the lambda function, like whether it's a player or not. But in this video, we are going to make the lambda function fail. So we are raising an exception. So let's first create a lambda function. Let's create a lambda function, demo error lambda. And I'm going to use Python 3.12, use an existing role, demo lambda role, and create a function. So now what I am going to do is I am going to raise some exception. So raise some custom error I'm going to raise, and I am say this is a custom error. I'm going to define that as well. So class custom error from the exception. That's it. So this is a custom error class. That's it. And if I deploy it and if I test it, sample test it. So it should raise the custom error type. All right. So, and this is a custom error. I am getting the particular message, right? So what I am doing is basically I am making my lambda function to get failed. If let's suppose if I have to implement this logic, okay, if I get custom error within our code, then I should give a retry again, and then again give a retry, then again give a retry. Then I have to unnecessarily put. So first I have to put counter count is equal to 0. Then I will check, okay, how many number of times we will get the custom error. Then again going to call the same function again and again. So unnecessary we are making the application code very complicated. So now in this lambda, it's very simple. We are just raising an exception. That's it. Now within the step function, we are going to handle all this retry logic, catch logic. So if you come here, I just drag and drop here lambda invoke, and if I go to the code, by default you could see here we have the retry block. So in the retry, we are saying error equals to a particular number of errors. So in our case, it's the custom error, right? So you can put any type of error, custom error, like So in our case, it's a custom error. And then we are saying like interval second, max attempt, back operate. So we are going to like see everything, but all are these. Okay, so let's come here. So first is the error equal. So error equal is like whenever any error has been occur, and whenever error, and because this is a list, this is a list because we can put any number of errors here. So I can put like custom error, then if it is a custom error, then it should retry 2 times or 3 times. If it is some other type of error, some other type of error, then it should retry maybe 5 times. If there is some other type of error, then it should not even give a retry, or maybe at least just one retry. So we can like this is basically list, we can put any number of things. So there are so many parameters. First is the error equals. So error equal is just going to match the particular string what error we are getting, right? Then interval second, second interval second is like initial delay before retrying. So let's suppose a lambda function run and it is going to fail, custom error, right? Then how many second or how many millisecond it's going to give a retry. So I said interval second one. So after 1 second, it should give a retry. And max attempts means like how many number of like attempts it should give. It doesn't mean like we are going to give an infinite number of times. There should be some limit, 2, 3, 5. Right. So we can give a like max attempt default to 3. If we set to 0, it means it's not going to be retried. Back of rate. Back of rate means like when it is going to be retry. So let's suppose the first retry it is going to be after 1 second. So second retry, is it be after 1 second or is it after like you want some other time? So back of rate means like just multiply the delay by 2. So first retry after 1 second, second retry after 2, third retry after 4 seconds. So back of rate is multiply the delay after each retry. And in this like by default like this is not something which I have written. I just like drag and drop the invoke function, and automatically this is going to be written by this like editor. So we have the retry block. Similarly, we can put here catch block. If I just type catch here, similarly we can put the catch block here, right? Similarly we can put the catch block here. So what in the catch block, what we can do is, so retry is like how many number of retries you can do. In a catch block, we can mention, okay, if there is a particular, like when it's going to catch block, when all the retries has been done, like let's suppose the max attempt is 3. When it is attempted 3 times and still it is going to fail, then it's went to the catch block. In the catch block itself, it's check, there are two parameters, one is errors equal, one is next. Then it is check, okay, uh, I get which error. So I am going to just check that. Now, if what action I need to perform next. So next means like maybe the next state, just a past state, just to print something, right? So we are going to do that. So let me copy paste this code. I'm going to explain you. It's like very simple. Half of the code already like here. Okay. So let me go above. So first let me change the lambda function. Let me go to design and let me copy the ARN and let me go here and delete it and paste it. Right. Okay. So now let's go to the code. So this is something which automatically come lambda invoke and everything, and retry. Like automatically retry facility also will provide. So I put multiple errors. Like first is if errors equal, then interval second should be 1 and max attempt should be 3, back of rate should be 2. And if task is going to be failed, maybe it's not a custom error because it's going to check line by line. It is going to follow top down approach. So first it is going to check whether it's a custom error, no. Then it is going to check if the task failed, yes. Okay, then it is going to retry after 30 seconds and back of, and it is going to just retry 2 times. Then states dot also, there are like multiple, like this is a custom error, but there are like some types of predefined error as well. So if you go to the official documentation handling error in step function workflow, and you could see here there are so many predefined states dot threshold limit, state dot heartbeat timeout, state dot HTTP socket, state dot something, state dot permission, state dot runtime. There are so many, so many errors. So some are like state dot all means matches any error. Timeout, if particular timeout has been received, task failed, execution failure, permission, the lambda doesn't have the permission, or any task doesn't have the permission. So we also checking the states total. If it is come to here, let's suppose the task did not failed and customer are also not, but there is something else. So there is something else, then it come here and it is going to retry 5 times with an interval of 5 seconds. If everything is going to be fail after maximum retry, then it's go to the catch situation. I said in the catch one, we have two parameters. One is error equal, one is next. So in the catch one, catch is the next block, catch one error equal. So I said if the error is custom error and all the retry has been failed, then it is going to the catch block. In the catch block, I am saying, okay, if it is then what you want to do? So I want to go into some next step. So I want to go into the custom error fallback. So when I am catching the situation, I am going to just print this. So this is a past state, past state, past state. So maybe when it's a custom error, then I am to print something else. When it is some reserve type fallback error, then I am to print something else. When it is some other error, I want to print something else. So this is a different type of catch situation. If it is like a custom error, then it should jump to custom error fallback. If it is a task field, then it should jump to this block. If it is this one, if it is jump to this block, like it is going to follow different route. All right. So let me go to the config and let me select the role and let me create it. So it has been created and let's try to execute it. So just start execute. We don't need to give an input. So execution status in progress. And if you see Lambda has been invoked, and if you see Lambda has failed, and we can see why it's going to fail. It's a custom error. So first retry, second retry, third retry, right? So it is going to be retry. And after that, we are getting the custom error fallback because we give, okay, it's going to give a retry 3 times. So first time it failed. So 3 times task failed. First time automatically run, then 3 times is going to be retry. And there is a started after, you can see there is a back of time as well. So there should be some delay, whatever like we have mentioned. Now let's say if we go to the lambda function and if we say some other error, let's suppose not custom error. So this is not a custom error. So deploy and let me test it. So custom error, 1 second, something is wrong. Not custom error. Deploy, test it. So now we are getting node custom error. So what should happen if we run our code? So let me first go to the code. Let me go to the code. So it is going to check whether it's a custom error. No. Then it is going to check whether the task failed. Yes, task is going to fail. So if the task is going to fail, it is going to retry 2 more times with an interval of 30 seconds. And once all the retry has been failed, then it will come under the catch situation. So under the catch situation, where it will go? It will go to the customer. No, it is go to the task field. Yes, in the task field, then it should go to the next step. What is the next step? Reserve type fallback. So then it is going to print. This is a fallback from the reserved error code. So let's try to execute it. So execute, start execution, and execution status in progress. So now let's see. So lambda has been invoked. You could see error orange block, and there is this warning symbol. If I just zoom it, you could see there is just like some kind of warning symbol. It means something has been happened. It's failed. And if you see below, so first has been started at like 49, then there will be some delay 181. Then it is waiting for 30 seconds for the retry. Then it is going to give a retry. So let's wait. So it's give a second retry. We can also expand it. So what error we are getting? So not a custom error, and we can see task has been scheduled, task has been into entered state. And let's wait one more time, I think. So what we are expecting, it should follow this route, reserve type fallback, because the task is going to fail. because the task has been failed. And task has failed, but failed with some other error. So, but not the custom error. So it should be the result type fallback. Because if we go to the code, we say if the task has failed, so if the task has failed, it should retry. It is going to retry, and then it is after all retry, it come to the catch one, and the catch one, if the task is failed, and if the state of the task is failed, it should go to the result type fallback, and that's why it will go to this block. And let's see. So it is still in progress. Yeah, so now it succeeded. If I scroll down, you could see now it's follow the different route, result type fallback, and you could see how many number of retry it's give a. So even by looking at the time, you could see there is a delay of 30 second. Not 30 second, basically first 30 second and then multiply by the backup parameter. Right, so this is very useful. That's why like when someone say you can do the same thing in the lambda, right? We definitely can do the same thing in the lambda, like, but the step function is like more helpful. First thing is you can visualize the things. The other thing is that you are separating your error handling logic with your business logic, right? This kind of retry method, why you are going to put all this logic into your main application code? So better like handle all this outside of your application code and within the step function. So, and anything else? Yeah, that's it. And at the end of the video. And thank you.